it goes on Facebook and stuff. It's always going to come out. So like, we just need to.
Okay.
So but if we record something at the beginning, we're whatever. Fuck it.
Hey, like,
So you're saying this is the introduction that says, hey, this is a really explicit episode and listen at your own risk? Or what?
Yeah,
Warning.
pretty much that's what like we would be doing right now is that like we're just going to come in and say, hey, this is a new episode of On Tap with the Boys, and we're back. This week's guest is Masin Knox from Las Vegas. But, you know, what we talk about is he is an adult entertainer and a male stripper and a porn star. And things get a little graphic around here, don't you think?
He throws a lot of C words around.
A lot of C words, a lot of B words,
P words, a lot of B words, a lot of letters of the alphabet that I didn't know was derogatory.
Did he throw a lot of C words around?
Dude, I don't even know what words mean anymore, man.
Coco Melon.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. C could be a couple of things, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Enjoy this episode of On Tap with the Boys. Just wanted to let everybody know that you have been warned. And enjoy the episode. He's an incredible guy. Very interesting. Have a good time.
Episode 101 is not just another episode here, boys. Episode 101 is actually just like the name suggests. We're learning today.
This is school. We have buckled in. I've gone back to school. One thing I vouched I would never do again in my life. We're about to learn something tonight.
Today we're going to learn from our great new friend here, Masin Knox.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Why don't you give us a little overview? What do you do? What's your profession?
So I have been an adult entertainer, stripper, adult movie actor in Las Vegas for like the last 15 or 16 years of my life. Mainly a private stripper on the Las Vegas Strip. 100%.
Hell yeah. So are you one of those guys that's like walking around like with a card with your picture on it or whatever? Do you do that?
So am I the guy that passes them out?
No.
Okay,
but is your picture on those?
So those
okay.
Those companies are they usually I haven't seen them yet with guys on them, but that's exclusively like direct to your room, I believe, escort companies.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought it was strippers also.
If we're going to touch on this is a question I've been meaning to. I've never been to Vegas myself.
What? Really?
Never been.
Oh, you got to take him.
I do. That's
one of my favorite cities in the
Yeah,
whole entire
he's
world.
been a few times, so he's got to take his buddy next time.
He'd always go before I was 21. He was selfish.
Yeah, but it's better you wait till you're 21.
Well, yeah, I bet it is. But
For sure.
The question I have is that when I was younger, like uncles would come back from Vegas and family members, and like that was their gift to like a 16-year-old kid is like, hey, here's the card with like the naked woman. And my whole life I've always wondered, are those prices real?
So yes and no.
Because they're always astonishingly low.
So yes, and that so that it would be called, depending on what company you go with, we refer to as like an agency fee. So like you're gonna have to pay that for them to show up. But then you're going to get hit with the whole spiel. They make their living on their tips. This is this tip requirement. That kind of amount of money is for them to show up and say hi to you.
Okay. It's kind of like a retainer of a lawyer. You have to pay that before they'll even come and show up.
Right. Exactly.
Is it how you get? Because obviously you can't like legally. I mean, can you legally escort yourself?
Yeah,
in Las
prostitution's
Vegas?
legal in Las Vegas,
No.
right?
So
Or right outside of Las
prostitution's
Vegas.
legal in Nevada, but it's illegal in Clark County.
So
which is
that's
Las
how they
Vegas.
get around it. Is you're not.
That's why all the brothels and all that stuff are in Pahrump.
That makes sense.
You know, but it's like you sell yourself as a stripper. You know, and I'm just speaking with these other companies. With the girls on the cards from stories I've heard, because I've never worked for. I personally have never worked for any of those companies. Again, I don't think they have guys, so I've never had experience with those companies personally.
Yeah. Okay. So, Masin, we brought you on here to promote your upcoming book that you just wrote.
Yeah, man.
Now, you just got out of the studio. You're also doing an audio version of this book.
You got to these days, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
People got to consume this content passively.
Well, yeah, man.
People are lazy.
Yeah, it's the way people do it these days. Actually, for those of you who've never done one of those, fucking doing an Audible is fucking hard, man.
Oh, I believe that. We were talking about a little in the car right here, but like having to record it over and over again, make sure the inflection is right, making sure that you said things a certain way, and
yes,
whatever.
like there's times like obviously where I'm telling my stories. So there's obviously comes times where you want to put a little bit more tone on some things. Like I remember I tell a story in my book where I get a lot of my business I get every year, or husbands will pay me to fuck their wives. There's a lot of my business.
Like, okay.
It's called like cuckolding.
Yeah,
cucking,
yeah.
cucking, cuckolding, whatever. And there's a story I tell where I met this. It was a young, attractive couple, but they wanted they had a role play.
Okay.
Kink.
Yep.
And he had supposedly placed too many wrong bets on a bad sports team. He didn't have money to pay. I'm the bad gangster that shows up.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And so like in the book, I talk about he wanted me to be real aggressive because his wife was submissive. So I remember going into the room, and in the book I had to do the tone with it. But I remember going in the room like, "Where's my fucking money, asshole?" We don't have your money. Well, it looks like that fucking pretty little wife of yours over there is going to have to pay with it what's between her legs or some bullshit like that.
And they wrote the script out for you to like read out.
Really?
No. So when it came to that, I obviously, I'm what do they call it?
Improv?
I'm improving. But
Yep.
I 100% of my situations where I first meet a couple, I always meet the husband downstairs at the bar first. And I have a drink with them. Just like, have a drink, talk. Where are you from?
Is that what we're doing right now?
Oh, I know, right? We got But I just get the idea. But he was really into like, she likes being submissive. You're a gangster. I owe you money. We can't pay you. And so the only way to pay you, is, obviously for me to, I talk about it in my book. You'll just have to read the book to see what happened between me and the wife.
Absolutely. So what's the name of the book now?
So it's just Masin Knox, which a lot of people, I spell my name like Sin City, MASIN Knox. It's called Masin Knox, the true story of a Las Vegas adult entertainer. I've been, what happens in Vegas will no longer stay in Vegas, if you will.
Oh, you're breaking a cardinal rule, actually. Kind of a bad boy of Vegas.
Well, that's a whole funny saying is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas unless you don't wear a condom. And then obviously.
It's true.
Yeah, herpes will come back with
It'll
it.
get you there.
That comes back. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
So we talked about this before on the podcast, but are you familiar with these tunnels that they got all over underneath
Dude, I
Vegas?
wanted to touch on this when we were coming up the stairs. I'm like,
Big time.
dude, I need to know about this.
I literally had a talk with how Vegas is. So that's a real thing. You're talking about the homeless people?
Yeah.
So that's a
like
real
the people
thing.
living under there.
And a lot of them, a lot of the colonies, if you will, however you want to describe them, a lot of them are really directly under Caesar's fucking palace.
Really?
Yeah. So I always joke about whenever I'm doing parties, it's just funny to me. Like literally at the top, you have the penthouse suites, people gambling, eating the finest food, enjoying Vegas to the fullest, and then literally right below all that, you have the low. You know, I don't want to say shit or scum because people get down on those situations.
Right.
But being from Vegas, I always had a saying that we don't have a homeless problem. We have a fucking drug problem because those kind of homeless people, in my opinion, aren't going to be underneath in a tunnel.
No.
They're going to be sleeping in their cars. They're going to be trying to get jobs. They're going to be showering at the gym. I mean, there's ways to, a lot of these homeless people literally wake up, and there's nothing wrong, obviously. Cheers, boys. There's nothing wrong with drinking, but they choose. I see them all the time because I work on the streets 1 or 2 days a week. We do the cowboys in front of Cabo Wabo, or we do like photo ops with the girls. Yep. And I deal with them all the time. You see the exact same, homeless people, and they always have a drink in their hand. They're always smoking something, and they just every day they get up and choose alcohol and drugs over just going for something. But that's a very real thing. If you go on YouTube, there's thousands of people. I have a friend of mine who's in charge of keeping the census of them. No kidding. He actually, so I could put you in touch with someone if you wanted to that could actually take you down there. He goes
Holy shit.
He goes down there and counts the people. He knows them.
No way.
Personally, he
so
makes
brings them medical supplies.
Yeah, he does.
They
do all that stuff for him.
So Vice did a little.
I was going to
documentary
say
about
when
him.
I became familiar with the whole tunnels under it was the Vice documentary, and they went down with a person like that, and that was so fascinating.
So I haven't seen the Vice documentary, so I wonder if it was my friend who did it. Because I know my friend exclusively works with that. That's like he helps obviously people that aren't doing so well, but he like puts special attention on those fucking tunnels.
No,
that's
and that's
insane.
how it works.
And that's what this person in the thing said. Like there's a very small group of us that they essentially allow down here because we bring people food, bring them medical supplies. A lot of these people get really skittish around cameras because some of these people are like escaped convicts that are just like running from the law, that just are choosing to spend their life away from public now.
And you've seen like whole bedroom suites and shit.
Yeah.
down
Oh,
there.
dude,
Yeah.
it's baller. They
Crazy.
make some wild shit, but like it's pitch black and most of it.
Yeah, and it stinks, and like it's
Yeah.
not a great place to live.
And what if it floods? Aren't they like flooding tunnels?
So like it's always a jokingly thing that we do in Vegas. After it rains, there's a lot more homeless people on the strip.
Well, was
because they'll come up out of the
Yeah.
Was
sewer
there
system.
not a gigantic flood like a couple weeks ago?
Yes and no. Like it didn't take very much. Yes, like the fucking streets, but not like crazy. But
Okay.
But they have 2 new casinos. The newest ones are Resort World, which is on the main part of the strip.
Yep.
And I believe the one's called Circa, which is downtown.
Yep.
You guys see that viral video of all the waterfalls of the like literally waterfalls of water were pouring through the sports book.
Yep, I did see
That was at Circa.
Oh boy, brand new casino.
Right, that's the newest one downtown for sure.
Damn.
So, but yeah, the streets flood there hella easy. It just takes a little bit of rain, and it's like you said, it's a flood central, but it like seems like it disappears almost as quick as it comes because it doesn't really rain. Like compared to like we're talking about, I'm from Indiana.
Yep.
We don't get the rain like we do in fucking Indiana.
Yep.
It rains, but it's usually during monsoon season, which is like around January.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's wild. So here on the podcast, we like to start things out usually with a pre-show shot, but we talked a little bit off camera that you've never smelled smelling salts before. So we were wondering if you wanted to maybe instead of taking a pre-show shot here, that we maybe get a pre-show sniff.
I think that's one way to get the podcast rolling like
think
that.
so.
I was actually wondering if we were going to initiate that but then I was thinking like maybe we went too hard on the last one. We're going to lay off the pre-show shots, but I
How
love
do these
this
things?
idea.
How do these things work?
You just open. Well, so this is there's a couple different forms of it. This is a little bottle. You just open the top on it and you just take a whiff.
So
That's it.
usually
Just smell it.
there's packets that
That's
you
it.
break them and then you like just wave them in front of your nose, but this is a whole bottle of it. So it's we haven't touched on these in a while because I stole them for a very long time.
Yeah, Tyler
But
took my
It's
bottle.
made for powerlifting. It's supposed to give you like an adrenaline rush, a head rush where you just fucking go like rage like
I
the
mean,
Hulk.
I'm not kidding. I almost passed out off camera like 10 minutes ago, dude. I've never had a
So-
head rush like
yeah.
that in my whole life.
I guess
sniff it.
You just smell
sniff
it.
it.
Don't overdo
Because
it.
this is the hardest I've ever had it. I think it smells from here. Oh,
You just put your nose up to it. And
Okay,
just smell it.
I can see where this is gonna go. I barely did a little bit.
Yep.
Whoa.
Isn't that wild? Like
Whoa.
it's nothing like you expect.
It like hits. It's like
Hits you. It like burns your nostrils.
like it's the best I can describe it is you guys do sushi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wasabi.
Yeah, you actually get the good mixture of the wasabi. You will feel that shit shoot through your nose. Whoa.
You just clear right up.
For the record, I didn't really even hit that hard, and that shit fucking.
Just
yeah,
clears
it's
you
pretty
right
wild.
up.
I can see how it.
Fuck.
It's. Yeah. So for the viewers, we've had the same bottle for over a year,
Fuck, dude.
and then we ruined it. And so I
So how
bought
did-
a new bottle for last episode. I forgot to bring it out because we had drank too much. But so we broke it out now, and a fresh bottle is way different.
So a fresh
Changes
bottle,
the world.
it's more potent.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is like high school.
We just
again.
opened that up. We just opened that up.
Well, I'm ready to do the show now.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Well, welcome. Okay, so you're in the adult entertainment industry. Obviously, you dabble with a little bit in the video realm as well.
So I just kind of I honestly literally started my porn career just a little over a year ago.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were
I'm
talking
still learning stuff.
off camera. You've done a little bit of work with Adam 22, and
Oh, so yeah, so he has obviously he has his podcast, but he has the Plug Talk.
Yep.
He mainly, obviously it's mainly focused on the women.
Yep.
But, he brings in male talent. And so I had reached out to producers about coming on a show, and they wrote me back asking me if I wanted to, be with this person, or this person on camera. And I was like, I'll work with her.
Well, you got to pick.
They give me 3 people.
Really?
Yeah.
So how do you make that decision? I mean, what did you like?
Yeah, what's it
as
based
you're
off
looking at the pictures? Like,
Personally, me, because I know how I work, I look to the girl that I would most likely go for at a bar. What would be mostly my type.
Well, you might as well enjoy it. Like, hey, if you if you love what you do for work, you'll never work a day in your life.
There's that, but there's also we talked about it a little bit on the car ride here.
Yep.
Dude, having sex and fucking someone that you meet is way different
100%.
than when you got the cameras and lights on you and you actually are doing the porn. It's way different.
I heard big things were like, well, making love, sex, and fucking are 3 completely different things.
And then on camera is a 4th one.
Oh, okay. I guess that's not in my realm, I suppose.
Because like even me, like I've never, I don't really have problems performing in that department.
Okay.
But when I'm on camera and stuff, hats off to the male porn stars out there. Because I'm still learning. Hats off to the male porn stars out there. That's why you see the same guys in porns.
Yeah.
Because there's a handful of guys that can literally show up and get the job done. You got the cameras and stuff on you, and all of a sudden you come. All it takes with guys is you get stuck in your head just a little bit, and you're gonna go from midnight to, or you go from 6 to midnight. So you're going from midnight to 6.
I'm 100% guilty of that. This is the normal day to day, dog.
So I bring I personally carry whenever I'm called to do porn, I bring Viagra with me in case I need it. So
is that huge with the big stars, or they're just that good at it that they can just pretty much perform on command?
Everyone's using something. In fact, what's being more and more popular on set, which I've seen a bunch, is people just do the injections in their dick.
What do they inject?
I forget what the drug's called. It's a legit.
Okay.
You can get from a doctor's.
No, that just sounds wild,
like
bro. There's people afraid of needles, and these people are shoving it right
I've
in their
seen it.
dick.
You get a little vial. You just take a little cc's of it, and you put it in, like I've seen people do it. You put it in like the base of your dick, like where your schlong, I guess what you'd say, would meet your ball sack.
Okay.
Right there in the base, and you just do a little eject, you rub it, and it keeps you hard for like 6 hours.
6 hours.
So then you don't have to worry about anything.
So are there like a lot of cuts as you're doing it? Like you're in the middle of a scene and then all of a sudden it just cuts and then you have to stop and do something else? Or
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Depending on the kind of porn, there always is, because they want to get pictures. So you'll be doing a position or whatever, be hanging out, stop, we'll do pictures. All right, pull out a little bit, hold it right there, put in a little bit, hold it right there, hang right there, hold it right there. So like, again, you got to constantly, you're going up and down.
That's got to throw off your game a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. A shout out to people who can do it. I'm still learning, and I've worked for a couple companies, and thankfully I've been mainly successful at every one of the ones I've done. But I did one recently where I was my first acting porn, or it was a full set. I was like a security guy on the red carpet.
Okay.
I had to walk the girl down the red carpet, protect her, and it's like we had to do shoots with our clothes on and with our clothes off and stop for pictures, and I had to fuck her through a glory hole, and then I had to fuck her on this box, and you have to do all these kind of positions, and like I had to fuck her standing up. I had to have her give me head, with her upside down on me. And it's like, so you're trying to perform and have fun.
Yeah.
But again, man, this is still kind of new to me. I'm barely just over a year into my porn career.
Yeah. You're 100% solidifying the statement of everything becomes work at one point.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit, man. I love what I do. I fucking love stripping in Vegas, but man, I do not have that 22-year-old mentality that I used to have when I was 22.
Sam, you think you could be a stripper in Vegas?
I'm kind of a Chippendales kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, little cuffs and some bow ties.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
Patrick Swayze and fucking Chris Farley.
Exactly. That's
Chippendales
exactly
skit.
what I had in mind.
Dude, everybody's working for the weekend.
I heard Ronnie from Jersey Shore's working there. Maybe we could be homies.
Okay.
Is Ronnie the white guy with tattoos?
Big guy.
He's the guy that was always fighting and
Big Jack
fighting
guy.
with Sammy.
I just noticed on one of the Vegas, they have these little Vegas magazines. One of the another Jersey Shore one guy's headlining Chippendales now. So it's the white guy that has
Mike?
tattoos. Tattoo. Kind of one. He just kind of has one across his chest.
Yeah,
a little
the
bit.
situation.
No, it's not situation.
Not situation.
Vinny?
It's
Pauly?
I don't know the show that well.
No,
I mean,
because
they're all
Pauly's the
Pauly's a
DJ.
DJ.
They're all
Yeah.
white though.
Yeah, it's not Pauly. It's not Pauly.
Yeah,
it
I
might be.
think it's
It might
gotta
be
be Ronnie.
Vinny. It might be Vinny or Ronnie.
Because I saw Ronnie
Is
on a
he
different
jacked?
podcast.
No, he's not the jacked
Then
one.
it's Vinny.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Gotta be Vinny.
It's got to be Vinny.
Gotta be
Yeah.
Vinny.
So I just noticed he's doing and I know Chippendales have been bringing in a lot more celebrity
Yeah.
acts to.
Yeah,
obviously.
that makes sense. I mean, you got to keep that alive too, because it's kind of a little bit getting played out, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone just kind of
bring life.
expects it.
Chippendales
or no.
are always going to be Chippendales.
Yeah.
That's the Chippendales show.
Right.
It's Chippendales.
I've never
Right.
seen it.
It's just like, but as far as like, but you know what it is.
Yeah, true. True.
True. You know what it is.
I know what it is.
So that's what it's. That's how you know something's popular, when it's not even anything you ever think about, but you know what it is.
Right.
That's a good
So it's
point.
been
That's a really
Chippendales,
good
man.
point.
And ever since we were joking, I believe Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze put that shit on the map back in the day.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That
That's
SNL
one of the
skit.
most legendary skits of all time.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah, that's incredible. And now also you've got some accolades on your plate as well. You've won some awards.
Yeah.
Tell us what that is.
Well, there's this annual event that goes on up by Chicago in northern Indiana. It's about an hour south of Chicago called NAP, which stands for Nudes, Poppin. And what Nudes, Poppin is, it's this big annual like porn star dance fest that goes on around the third weekend of every July. And it's mainly catered towards the women, like I've mentioned before, but they have a small part of it is catered towards the guys. So like, I had started stripping back when I tried to start when I was like 19 and just didn't have the balls, the muster up to do it. And I ended up going back and doing it when I was 21. And I'm adopted, and my godfather at the time had been going through this thing. This thing's been going on since like the fucking 80s. So you've had a lot of, you have Dennis Rodman's hosted it, Gene Simmons, Kid Rock, Gilbert Godfrey. Damn. I mean, the list goes on. Like Slash from Guns N' Roses. I mean, the list goes on for people who have hosted this thing over the fucking years. So he's like, dude, you got to go enter this thing. So back in 2007, I drove, at the time I was driving my 1998 Pontiac Bonneville. I drove that up to the fucking campgrounds. I filled out the contestant paperwork, and I ended up meeting a porn star there named Shaylin. Shout out to Shaylin. That's Shaylin XXX. I think she was just on the cover of Playboy Africa. So she just did
no shit.
She just did that. I was talking with her the other day. I talk about this in my book, me and her, but we entered the couples go-go competition, which basically is you put together a routine, but you have to get fully nude. You're on the stage, and you're judged by judges and by crowd. There's a ton of people there, but we ended up winning that. My first year, I took first place in Couples Go-Go, and I took second place in Entertainer of the Year. So I had runner-up. So that got the momentum going. I had some kind of job offers to come out to Vegas. My godfather at the time was already coming out to California to get some things up. So I competed in that competition in July, and I was in Vegas by September.
So that was your start. Was this competition?
Technically stripping before that. I started working at a place called PT's and a place called the Unicorn in Indiana. But like literally that I did that for like maybe 6 months to a year. But yeah, then that Nudes of Poppin's what really started Vegas. That's what really got me going. I can really make some money doing this. I think there's something here. And I went with it.
So now as an adult entertainer, as a male stripper, where's the real money at? Like what's the big money maker? Is it the private parties or like the dancing or what?
I'm only speaking from my experience. My experience is doing the private parties, big time. When I mean private parties, not the escorting. Like you go in the hotel rooms, you're dancing for 15, 20, 25, 30 girls at a time sometimes. You go into these big suites. Yeah. But yeah, because you put on a show, and if you're good at what you do, you get your walk-in fee like we were talking about with the cards. Mm-hmm. So I get my walk-in fee, and then you make your tips. So, yeah.
I want to dial back. I'm going to get in here right now because you talked about you won this competition. That was like your first time and you were hesitant on it. Have you ever had an issue with confidence at all? In yourself? Like, was that a big confidence booster? Like, or have you always just been like a super outgoing, like, I've
always been super outgoing and really cool. And like, in fact, just the way I approach life and people, I think. Mm-hmm. I've always done good with just talking with people. I feel like we're doing good. I just feel like
absolutely.
I have this thing. Yeah. But it's like, that Nudes a Poppin'. So, like, what was a real ego booster, I have a story in my book. So, they had just done the award ceremony. I got my 2 trophies. I'm all happy. My dad's there, my adopted dad. All my brothers are there cheering me on, like, fuck yeah, bro, And I'm like, so I'm walking to my car to put my trophies away, and these 2 hot swinger blonde girls are in the crowd. And they went, man, you're a hot motherfucker. I would just like to suck your dick. and I remember going, well, nobody's stopping you. And I pointed down at my trophies, and right there in front of everybody, for like 200 people, she just starts blowing me while her friend cheers her on. It gets stranger. So she's blowing me. Security comes rolling up in their golf cart. At that time, I hadn't adapted Mason yet. I came up with a name on the spot. I was going by Sebastian. I thought, Sebastian Bach?
Oh, yeah.
I was Sebastian Cock. Right? I know, right? I just thought it was fucking
low-hanging fruit, but I love it.
Yeah. But I was like, I was going back to Sebastian Bach, the composer. It's Johann Sebastian Bach. I was so long Sebastian Cock. It's just stupid. But so anyway, the security guy rolls up and goes, damn it, Sebastian, you know better. You're not supposed to do sexual acts in public. That's where they have the tents. And so anyway, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. They laughed. I laughed. But this is my first, obviously, this is one of my first experiences with swingers. And so she's like, well, come back to our trailer or whatever. Because a lot of people, they come to this event, but they had like an RV, but this is more of like This is like what a band would tour in. They had one of those huge fucking RVs.
They're
like
rich swingers.
Yeah, man. So we go back into this nice-ass fucking RV, if you want to call it that, big tour bus thing. She starts blowing me again, and I bend her over the little kitchen counter there, and I pull her little panties down, and I start fucking her. I may be fucking her for like a minute, and this guy comes in, and he has this look on his face, and he goes, "What the fuck's going on here? That's my fucking wife." And my heart stopped. And before I could even say anything, he started laughing. He goes, "Oh, I don't give a fuck." And he pulled out his dick and put it in her mouth. And we ran a train on his wife, and we laughed about it.
Yeah.
And that's how my first Nudes of Poppin ended. It was me finishing with the swingers.
That's the origin story of Masin Knox.
Yeah, man. That's it.
That's your
Fuck,
spider
dude.
bite, man.
That was
That's your
it. So I remember
spider bite.
leaving that with that, like you were asking, confidence thing. You were asking me. I left that thinking like, dude, this is something cool, because I was super depressed after that, because at the time I wasn't doing so hot. I was working a factory job. Before that, I was walking to work to Taco Bell. I mean, I've come from humble beginnings.
Yep.
And I remember going back to my brother's house. I was renting a room in his house, and it was just all quiet. This small town, no one wants to fuck me. No one wants to be with me anymore. No one's cheering, at the time, Sebastian.
Like
no one's
such
cheering.
a high to such a low.
Boom, And then so like I was like, how can I fucking fix that? And I went with some of those offers. I talked to people that were in Vegas. There was a couple clubs that were hiring, so I literally just packed my car up, my 1998 Pontiac Bonneville, with everything that I could, and I made the drive to Vegas from Indiana.
That's wild.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean that just goes to show that's why guys like, Mike Tyson at the peak of his fighting career, why guys like that get so big into drugs, because like you got to keep that high going.
Yeah. You want to live your whole life in that highest point of your life.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, man. Like I was telling you, it's going to be a very I honestly and truthfully, with all my heart, love what I do. As far as when it comes to stripping and entertaining. Like there's a lot of times where I meet the boyfriends or husbands beforehand because they're there on trips. I let them know that their girls are safe. They're with a professional entertainer. I've done this for 16 years, and it's a part of me. I'm gonna be sad the day because I have more years behind me than I do ahead of me now. Like I said, I'm gonna be 38. Yeah. Starting when I was 22, I'm not gonna be able to do this for another 15 years. It ain't in the cards. So I know I got maybe another 10 years left, maybe. That's going to be a sad day. I really love this fucking job. And one of these days, I put it in my book. It's like, by the way, my book, Masin Knox, The True Story
when
of an
is that
Adult.
coming out? When can they pre-order?
Pre-orders are happening in 2 weeks, the end of September. So we're looking at pre-orders, and it's officially going to hit the market on Halloween.
Got it.
So
Awesome.
I just know it's going to be a very sad day when I shut that hotel suite
But
for the last time.
I think you're kind of setting yourself up because, like, everybody's careers and stuff, you have to adapt with your audience and adapt as you get older. And I feel like now you're becoming a writer and kind of going into your next phase.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
awesome.
I feel like that too. But at the same time, like it's like again, I'm a huge, pro wrestling fan. Always have been. Shout out to Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, all that
Hell
stuff.
yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother. Stone Cold said so. But they even talk about, even though that they still work with the company, they have their podcast or they do the announcing, they still can't go to the ring. And it's still not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, but at least I got to experience it though.
Right,
That's what I'm
right.
saying. It's been
Now,
a great career, man.
What's the next move? What's the next move career-wise once you
He's a
can't
writer,
do
dude.
that?
Being a writer. I'm doing the book
Writing.
thing. I plan on doing a follow-up book to this. I know that I have as long as your dick works, you don't have to be in the prime time shape. You see a lot of older guys in porn all the time. So I see myself that. I've invested some money in some property and real estate in California.
Nice.
So I'm just one day at a time. I figured worst case scenario, I'll go fucking be a blackjack dealer or a bartender in Vegas. Work doesn't bother me. That's got full benefits. It's a union gig. So it's
Right.
like, I'm just,
You could,
going with the punches.
You could be the cuck in the videos.
Yes.
When you get older, you could just be the one that sits in the corner.
Absolutely. My friend, I got a friend who just plays cuck in videos. He actually
he
was
does?
joking about he's played a cuck more times than anybody else. He's like the most cuck person. He works for the company. There's no hang-ups about it, but I remember him joking that he's
King
done more
Cuck.
cucks, right? He's King Cuck.
Cuck,
I
dude.
wish I remembered his name. But yeah.
Oh man.
that's so
So
funny.
I want to talk about like what's the pay scale in like for the male adult porn? If you're comfortable talking about
So that's the one thing. I don't discuss what I make anywhere.
that. Okay.
You
Oh,
know?
you told me you're an open book.
I know. That's the one thing I am. That's
said-
No, that makes total sense.
the
That
one
makes
thing
sense.
I
I
don't
get it.
discuss is my income, but I tell you this much: if you can get in with the right company, it's great.
Okay.
And it's about how you work a crowd.
Okay.
You have to let people know what you expect, and you have to do a good job. You can't just show up to a party, turn on a little radio, shake your hips a little bit, and expect to
Yeah.
make money. I have a state-of-the-art sound system I bring with me. All my costumes are legit. They're eBay bought. My cop outfit, my firefighter outfit, doctor's outfit. I mean, I got a Harry Potter outfit, cowboy outfit.
Like
That's
you buy
wild.
the most legit high-end stuff. Like you're saying eBay, like kind of like retired uniforms.
Yes,
type
because
of
you
ordeal?
can't. Yeah, you have. So I
Yeah.
buy the legit. Like I like when I buy my firefighter stuff, I have to wash it several times because it still stinks like smoke.
No shit.
Yeah, and then on top of that, all my pants Velcro off. So I go get them altered so they can rip off in one cream sweep because I don't care how attractive of a man you
That's
are.
wild.
There's nothing you cannot step out of pants attractively.
Right.
And women want that and that pop every time. And then I buy it. I go to Goodwill once a month and I buy every single large, medium, and small T-shirt they have in the store for guys.
Because you rip them off.
Yep, I cut the sleeves on them, pre-cut them, wash them in some color-safe bleach, and I rip them off every show and give them to the Bachelorette. Rip them off every show, give them to the Bachelorette. So you leave them with a souvenir.
Oh, that is wild.
Yeah, so you put on a whole show, man. You give them what they want. Like it's a role playing thing. They want you get these sexed up crazy girls that have been planning this trip, and especially if their girlfriend's getting married, they want it to be a great time. They've probably been planning this fucking thing for sometimes a year, 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, there a lot of thought goes into these plans. You know,
So you're an entertainer. I mean, you
Well,
got to
yeah,
put
that's-
on the show.
That's why I labeled my book, you know, The True Story of a Las Vegas Entertainer. I never saw myself being a stripper. And the fact that I'm a stripper, which I am, is kind of funny, but I don't. If you ever meet any other male strippers, they don't act and really look like I do. I don't mean that in any kind of mean way. You get more of your musclehead gym kind of guys.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all.
I suppose. I get that.
You know, I'm the smallest guy by far on our roster, 100%. Now, most guys are.
You should pack the biggest punch, man. I always
yeah.
tell everybody I might have a needle dick, but I fuck like a sewing machine.
It's emotion in the ocean. But yeah, I tell girls I'm big where it counts.
So you've been in the game for a while. You've seen a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
Is there a certain celebrity that you would say, or I guess, what is the most famous celebrity you've ever either danced for or maybe had sex with? Like, is there one that sticks out for you?
Well, I mean, not danced for or had sex with. I mean, the most, I would say, especially up to date, the most famous celebrity I've hung out with and had the honor of chilling with for a minute was Dennis Rodman. When at my last year at Nudes, Poppin.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
And he's made a statement. And
Yeah.
I mean,
shout out to the Worm, baby.
dude.
I watched him back in the I watched basketball back in the Michael Jordan days. I watched him play.
Yeah.
You know, he was the crowd. I
That's
watched him marry
wild.
himself.
Well, and
you
he
know?
loved Vegas too. So I watched the new documentary that dropped for Michael Jordan, and they said while they were in the playoffs, Dennis Rodman was in Vegas having orgies,
Oh yeah.
getting fucked
And
up.
he would fly back and do the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
he's been on
crazy.
record too at I forget what college he played for, but he was like, it's documented that he was like he played a whole game with like 105 temperature. You know what I mean? The dude's nuts. But yeah, he was one of
crazy.
the most famous people. He hosted and like when I won the Entertainer of the Year that year, my last year I did Nudes of Pop and he's the one that presented me with my trophy. I had like a bunch of WWE kind of style pyrotechnics. I remember I thought it was so cool. He was calling me Mr. Vegas through the whole event. He's like, "Yo, there's Mr. Vegas." I was like, "What's happening, Dennis?" So we're not friends by all means. I had one day with that guy,
right,
but he
right.
was super fucking cool. And obviously, he's being pulled apart at the
Yeah.
seams because he's Dennis Rodman, and
Yeah,
of course
100%.
every girl there wants to. Every fucking hot porn star there wants to fucking fuck him, probably, you know. So the fact that he
life.
gave my little ass any of attention and called me Mr. Vegas, I thought was really cool, really
Yeah.
nice of him.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, for sure.
That is so cool. So now these like huge names that are in the industry, how do they get into these like collaboration type of situations? Is there like management teams that reach out to each other
As
and
far
make
as-
these connections?
As far as porn,
Yeah.
so both. So like, there's a handful of booking agencies that handle a lot of the girls' talent, and if you want to book a girl, you can do it that way. The way I went about it is I had some clout already from doing the adult entertainment stuff, being a stripper. So I started getting into it. I also work with trans. I work with trans performers. So I know a lot of super famous trans porn stars that I work with. And they help me get in the game a little bit. And then when people, it's like a snowball effect. When people see that you've worked with this person, then they start hitting you up. Like I recently worked with Rocky Emerson. Shout out to Rocky. She's a big name in the game. I had 2 girls say, "Oh, I seen you worked with Rocky. I'd like to work with you." And so then I got another scheduled shoot at the beginning of October with another girl who's a big name in the industry. And I'm sure once I shoot with her and our stuff comes out, people are going to hit me up. I had followers hit me up on Twitter after the Maddie Collins that I did for the Plug Talk show.
Yeah.
Hit me up. So it's once you get in and you work with bigger names, other people see it and then they start reaching out to you rather than you reach out to them. But no, I did a thing before I got sucked in. I literally was just going on Twitter and finding people that were close to me. And I would just go and I'd write the girl the most polite message that I could. Hey, my name's Mason. I'm TTS tested, which is talent testing services, which is the porn. It's the legal porn thing where you get your blood work done.
Okay.
I'm TTS tested. I'm professional. Would love to shoot with you sometime. Hope you don't mind that I messaged you. If you're interested, please hit me back. And then you did, some of them hit you back, some ignore you.
Okay. Do you full on consider yourself a porn star?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so what is the threshold of being considered a porn star or a dude with a camera?
Actually, you know what? Maybe I am a porn star. I got my first year. I did get nominated for a T, which is as far as there's the T Awards, and then there's the why can't I think of this?
The Woody?
I don't know.
A Woody?
No, the awards show, the AVNs.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the T show is the equivalent of the AVNs, but it's for trans performers. And I'd worked with a famous a trans performer named Jessie Dubai, and we got nominated for Best Boy Girl Scene of the Year. So I guess that solidified me being a porn star. But as far as being a guy on camera, I guess what the only difference would be, maybe in my opinion, you got to do some studio work with a couple companies.
Okay.
And that solidifies you.
But so when you're saying like heavily produced things, you're doing heavily produced videos, correct? Like porn videos, or was that just for your stripping?
Produced videos? I've never produced videos for stripping.
Oh no, not produced. Oh, okay, but like you've done, like big scripts and stuff on porn sets and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I've worked for
that's some real shit. That's some porn star shit.
I've worked for Trans Angels, which is one of the biggest trans companies. I've shot for Adam 22. I mean, everyone knows who that guy is.
Everyone knows who Adam.
That
he's
plug
huge.
talk. Like I was at the house with the orange couch. That was really cool. I mean, just to experience all that was cool. And again, I'm shooting with more and more girls, but a lot of girls now too. What's really cool is because of the OnlyFans platforms that have been taking off. And I know girls that are making $1 million a month.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It's crazy.
I personally know girls that are making $50,000 a month. You know, it's like fuck, but it's like you get into their game and all, and that I can shoot my own porn. So it's like I got the tripods, I got the lighting and all that stuff. So it's like a lot of girls will work with you too because I tell them, hey, I shoot it, I can edit it, cut it up, and then they post it on their Twitter and they tag you in it, and then it's just a snowball effect.
And then you blow up, and then
then
a lot of their followers go to your account, and vice versa.
A little harder for guys.
Yeah,
but
I would suppose.
But it's still, I'm not complaining.
Right.
So it sounds like then you have dipped your toes into the OnlyFans space.
Oh yeah, definitely. I started with OnlyFans before I did my any production porn.
But so joining the production side of porn, do you think OnlyFans is ruining that side of porn, or is it helping it? Is it slowing it down? It's helping it.
It's helping because it doesn't really take anything away because you're still paying for OnlyFans, and it allows us creators and sex workers to be able to not have to just rely on company work.
Right.
It can literally be in control.
Make it independent.
Yeah. It's great. So I think OnlyFans has done nothing but help the industry. It's helped sex workers. It's helped people. Because again, like I was telling you before, some people just cannot perform on camera when you have a whole camera crew.
Right.
Like, but OnlyFans, you can literally just do it in your fucking living room and record it with your fucking iPhone.
Your iPhone, yeah, selfies.
You know, when I got into this business of doing my OnlyFans, I was only going to shoot on my iPhone and edit on my iPad. I use nothing else. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm an iPhone creator. I'm one of those, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
There's a new kind of creators, they call them out. I'm a strictly iPhone guy.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. No. I mean, that's sweet.
Yeah, right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
I mean, hey, we got a lot of money into, software and cameras, and you don't need all that. You really don't.
No.
And depending on
Not
what you're
with
doing with it, you really don't.
This is nice.
So we were talking about this a couple weeks ago.
You got a set and everything
Thank
else.
you. Well, I appreciate
with porn, dude, who the fuck really cares about the set?
Right.
You're looking at what you want to get off to. And that's about it.
I actually
Yeah,
want
literally.
it to look as shitty as possible.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like
Our last set
it's like
was
real.
so shitty, and I loved it.
Exactly.
We were trying
that's what it is.
Yes.
I want it to be taken on a phone in 360 quality.
Shit.
I want to be able to barely tell what a titty is.
That's hilarious. So you're going back to my days. I'm a little older than you guys. Back in the day when you wanted to watch porn, it was a Scribbly channel. It's like, I can make out a fucking boob.
We were talking about how when you used to be on dial-up, you could only get pictures, and you had to watch where it load from the head down.
Oh, dude, that's true.
Yeah.
I remember downloading stuff, and my mom was up. We'd be upstairs and be going click, click. I'd be hurry up, fucking go. My mom's fucking coming downstairs. She's gonna come downstairs.
One of our friends used to print out these photos.
I did too.
And like hide them, print them out on the printer paper, and
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I've always been a kind of a porn entrepreneur. When I was a little kid, in my early teens, I always saw myself being I always wanted to be a porn star. I did. I wanted to play rock and roll, and I wanted to be a porn star. I don't know why, but I did. And I remember we found my friend's dad and mom's porn collection. 2 fun stories with that. That was the first time I saw a guy get fucked in the ass with a strap on. Okay. And I never looked at his dad since, because we grabbed one of his home movies.
Oh shit! It was his dad.
Yeah, I watched. So I'll never forget. It was like because what started the whole thing was we would steal 2 or 3 at a time, and that was VHS days where you could literally plug up a camcorder to your VCR and dub it. So I was dubbing porns, and I had a video rental service in middle school and high school. You could rent porns from me. Come to my house. Yeah, that's how I charged.
You were the dude.
I was the guy who charged $5 a night to rent my porns.
Some black market shit.
One of the porns I saw, 2 funny things with my friend's dad and parents was, the first one was like, I remember it being a home video, and I was going, when you first play it, you're like, I'm watching it. And he still doesn't believe me to this day, because I was by myself watching it. I told him, he goes, yeah, right. And then we're just seeing a bed. I can see it right now vividly, like it happened yesterday. All of a sudden, his dad walks in the frame and just bends over the bed. And then behind him, his mom comes up behind him. There's nothing wrong with this, but you never look at your friend's parents. And so I fast forward more. They had another scene. Do you remember those like kind of inflatable boxing gloves?
Yeah,
it might have been
sock and boppers.
Sock and boppers. Their parents lubed the sock and boppers up, and the dad was banging the sock and bopper. And I was like...
More fun than a pillow fight.
And then you go back to your buddy's place, and he's like, yo, you want to play with my sock and boppers?
Fuck
like,
no, dude. Danny. it's like you're fucking no more sock and boppers, but he didn't believe it anyway. That was I'll always remember that fucking story of seeing my friend's dad getting robbed.
Dude.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
God.
come back from that.
No, yeah.
So did your buddy ever watch the video?
According to him, no, because he still does to this day. He thinks I'm making it up, but
Okay.
I'm not.
That's good of him. That
Yeah.
would traumatize the fuck out of me. Yeah.
You know.
You're just eating dinner with his
Oh,
family,
dude,
and you
you
just
couldn't.
can't even look up.
Just staring at him. You're watching.
There's
his
nothing
dad.
wrong with that.
No,
you know?
there's not,
But it's like,
but-
but when you're that age,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're like in high school, late middle school, early high school, we're talking about 8th grade, freshman, sophomore year. That's like a huge, like, holy shit, like
That's life changing.
Yes.
That alters your perception on adults, on your view of people, on Then you go to think, like, how many other people do I know that have done this kind of shit that I just haven't seen?
I mean,
that
literally,
know?
people could come in here right now. I could see the same thing. I wouldn't even blink an eye at it. I'd be like, just keep it down, guys. We're doing a podcast. But in those days, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100. Oh, yeah, there's a
could
bunch
see
of people.
that.
One of my first
Crazy.
parties, I'll talk about my book, was I danced for, it was a cross-dresser that was really wealthy. He had, he or she, they, I think they refer to them as they had a room at the, that room. They had the 2-story suite at the Wind Tower Suites. And the dominatrix has hired me to come do the show. And I'm dancing on this really nice table, looking up at the mirrored ceiling. And I look over to my right, and he's literally getting fucked in his ass by a big black strap-on by the dominatrix.
Was this the thing from your first chapter of your book?
Yeah, exactly. I talk about it on the soft
Yeah.
white underbelly. So that was one of my first big parties I had out here in Vegas.
So we were talking about it earlier about your book and everything and about Audible. So like you sent us your first chapter of your book and I read it and it was just like, it was wild. I'm like, this is the first chapter? Like that's what you're going to start it out on?
Sets the tone.
It really sets the tone.
It sets
dude.
the tone in Vegas. Because
Oh
I
my
literally
God.
had that thought when I was dancing on that table, like from the Wizard of Oz. Because I'd been out of Indiana barely a couple months. And I was like, I'm not in Kansas anymore. This is a whole new world, baby. But I used to work back-breaking shifts at a fucking warehouse. And I made more money in an hour and a half than I would in 2 weeks there.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm where I needed to be. And I started with that chapter because that's really realized, and then I just kind of work backwards from there. We go into like my Indiana bringing up, and me trying to work at a gay bar, and then I didn't have the guts to do it, and I ran out. Then me working at PTs, and then working my way up to the Nudes of Poppin, and then I make it out to Las Vegas,
Hell yeah, dude. It's unreal.
step by step.
Unreal.
Should we rip a bathroom break?
Yes,
quick?
I
We'll be
need
right
a beer.
back.
I was doing the leg hop, so I'm definitely
It's time for a
down.
bathroom break. The boys will be right back.
All right, boys and girls, let's get serious real quick. This episode is brought to you by Unlimited Masonry. If you need new brick, new stone, brick repair, stone repair, concrete, chimney repair, give us
Bar.
a call. The fuck was that?
I shouldn't have done that, but I just. Well, they built this for us.
Oh shit! Let's back to the episode.
I do like that actually. That would be funny as fuck.
What was that?
Because I got all the points across.
Yeah, you did.
Fuck.
I don't know how you do that.
Oh
That's
my
some strong
God,
stuff.
One was enough for me.
That's the way you come back from the bathroom break.
I'm so glad I only got one nostril on that one.
Jesus.
All right, we're back, boys. On Tap with the Boys is back from their bathroom break here with Masin Knox. I'm crying because I just ripped the smelling salts.
I want some.
And while Tyler's taking his smelling salts, I think it's time to take a shot.
Absolutely.
A little mid-show shot because we did pre-show.
I'm not going to lie. When I was walking in from our bathroom break, I noticed you had a bottle of Kettle One next to you. If you won't mind if I could.
That's what you're going to pick for your pre-show, your mid-show shot is Kettle One?
Yeah, that's my go-to fucking
Straight vodka?
Yeah.
God, this guy's trying to kill us.
No, let's kill us. What are you guys trying to shoot?
Oh, no, dude.
Actually,
I like it.
One of the first vodkas I ever had as an underage.
Line them
this
up,
is a
boys. I'll pour them
hush-hush
for
thing.
us.
Taka, dude.
Underage as a hush-hush thing as a kid was orange Kettle One vodka with Sprite, and it tasted just like a creamsicle. It
I've
was
never had Orange Kettle One.
phenomenal. It's
It's
good.
always caught my eye, like
Hey,
in the
hey.
liquor store.
You okay?
Yeah, I had a rough day, but I'm getting over it.
Jesus, bro.
The tear
like,
rolled right when he said that. It fell off his nose.
I barely hit that shit, so I'm only imagine what you're feeling right now.
oh,
It's a
dude.
lifestyle.
Smelling salts chaser to vodka.
God, no. I
I'm
can't.
good.
It might kill it. It might kill it.
No way, dude. I think it would make it
Hey,
10 times.
I'll be
Go
a
for
revolution.
it.
I'll be the one that steps foot on the moon. You're going to be the one sitting over there crying.
I'll be the one chasing my
Dreams?
shot with a little bit of ginger ale.
That does sound like a better idea.
Captain Morgan tastes like shit. Ronnie D, it gets me lit.
All right, guys. I think we're all good here.
This is
Tyler, there
the
you go,
Kettle
bud.
One.
Ooh.
So this is Masin Knox's choice when it comes to the liquor.
This is my
So-
go-to.
This is the vice.
So
This is-
growing up in Vegas, or not growing up, but living in Vegas for so long, massive drinking city, I bet you have heard a lot of like toasts in your day.
Oh, yeah. And a
So-
lot of times, the toast is my cue to come in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I'll be hiding in the bathroom and stuff. Sometimes they'll get me in and they'll go, when we say cheers or we say congratulations, Mary, or congratulations, Debbie, when we say that, we want you to come out and, start the show.
Yes.
So one of my favorite ones to do is...
Well, let's do it right here.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what- that was what I was leading into.
Oh, fucking A. To the boys, man. To On Tap. Thanks for having me, guys.
To the boys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, what's the best cheers that you got?
Yeah, that's
Like a toast.
Oh.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No. Life is to be enjoyed, not endured, boys.
okay.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Smooth.
It's good vodka.
The smelling salts made it worse. It did not help.
If you like vodka, it's a good go-to. I love vodka. And the second to that, which is more expensive, and a lot of people don't know about it, but Beluga is a great vodka.
Beluga. I'm a big Tito's guy. Tito's guy.
That's
is
a great
good.
go-to. You cannot go wrong with Tito's. It's like a Sky. It's like a Smirnoff. Gluten-free.
No, it's not, is it?
Yeah.
All right, I respect all lifestyle. Get out of here with that fucking gluten-free shit.
Dude.
We were talking about, like these people. It's one thing to have eating intolerance, but to just be like, I don't do that because of, some sort of,
Diet or something.
It's
or
when it
stance.
becomes like a personality trait instead of an actual eating disorder.
Like the vegans were like, there's nothing they talk about other than I am a vegan.
yeah.
That's your whole identity.
Literally that's their identity. I'm not for that.
Not behind
Not for that.
Not behind it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But then again, our whole identity is being drunk and talking on a podcast. So, hey, we have more. We are deeper than that. One day we're going to crack into who we are as people, but that day is not today.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
You don't have to. It's a learning experience. It's about the, again, I'm in the middle of what I'm doing, but I've really learned. I mean, I'm a bit older than you guys, a little bit. I've learned it's more about the journey than it is a destination. It really is. It's enjoying the journey all the way up because once you get there, you're there. It's the whole journey that's the fucking fun part. And I was told that my whole life, and I didn't really start to appreciate it till I got older. So 100%, it's about the journey. Because this whole journey, like I was talking about, I got more years behind me than I do ahead of me.
Yeah.
It's like it's like, fuck, dude, I wish I could go back and sometimes and like do the journey again, man.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
I feel that.
If you keep setting higher goals, though, I think you're always on the journey.
Yeah, so that's another key to happiness, I've been told. Always set goals for yourself.
Always. I know when I used to set a lot of goals for myself, and I kind of stalled out for a little bit, and I'm like, fuck.
It's okay.
What am I living for?
It's okay to have bad days.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Dude.
It is. I mean, that's what it comes down to here, you know? It's not all about butt sex and liquor. Sometimes
Yeah, Sam.
you just gotta.
Why you guys said butt sex and liquor and you had a sad voice and you guys both looked at him.
I literally did it because Cody was looking at him.
So is there a backstory, Sam, to butt sex and liquor?
No, I was just gonna go with it. I wasn't sure. Sometimes Cody does this little bit where he just looks at a guy for no reason, and
Oh man,
you just got to go with
You
it.
got to go with it. So one thing I saw on the show before I came on, was it you? Were you drinking baked beans?
No, so I might have drank a little bit because at one point all of us were drinking them at the same time.
It was a gift.
But he's like our behind the camera guy. We call him Bean Boy. So he actually
You'll
gifted
actually
us.
love this. Do you want a shot?
He gifted us this,
no.
big thing of beans.
Bush's beans, dude. Imagine that.
And he just drinks beans on the daily. It's just his thing.
Straight out of the can?
Yeah.
Straight out of the can.
Could you get botulism from that?
What the fuck is
I don't know.
botulism?
I hope not.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds scary.
Yeah, it kills
I don't
you.
think you can because if this guy hasn't got it, I'm convinced that you can't.
I used to drink a lot of beans out of the can.
Okay, then you can't get botulism from a can. The beans, anyway.
Shit, I don't know. My wife was on some real hardcore Survivor shit. Her and her dad heated up a can of baked beans on a propane heater this last hunting season, and they ate a can of beans in the deer stand that was just cooked on a little propane heater.
Which is great.
I know that's really popular here, but like for a lot of people, that's going to be like, whoa, that's kind of fucked up.
That's great.
It's like straight Survivor Man type stuff.
Great.
Did I tell the story, my beans story about in the fire?
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah.
say that on the podcast?
Yeah, last episode actually.
Dude. Okay.
See, we're always on the beans,
I apologize.
dude.
I
Bean
apologize.
Boy.
I don't have any bean stories when it comes to stripping.
I
do have. I mean, I have all kinds of stories. If you guys want to hear anything in particular?
Let's hear some crazy shit.
Crazy.
Put us on game. This is episode 101. We learn us something.
So,
So like the most interesting thing, like the most off the wall, something that we might have never heard of before.
well, like off the wall, like to me. So.
We probably got different ideas of what
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I could probably tame it down, and it would still be kind of off the wall.
I mean, you don't even have to tame it down, really. We're so deep at this point. I mean,
Yeah,
might
I
as
know,
well.
right? So like,
We weeded out the week at this point in the episode.
no shit,
My
right?
grandma,
You either
I think,
love me or
has
you
officially
fucking hate me.
stopped listening at
You
this
know,
point.
that's great. No, my mom quit talking to me a fucking long time ago. So welcome to the club. Just be yourself. Fucking again, when I think of crazy and stuff, like I had a person ask me that on the last podcast I did, and it's like, what is crazy to me now? Like, I'm so used to everything. Like, is it would it sound crazy to you guys if I told you stories about how girls like to give me hand jobs until my dick gets hard and they like to snort lines of cocaine off my cock? Is that?
I mean,
crazy?
that's crazy to
I
me.
think it's pretty cool,
I mean,
more than crazy.
I just had it last weekend. I had a couple hire me, and it was a husband and a wife. I'm pretty sure the husband was bisexual, but I was dancing for both of them, and the wife was giving me like a half a hand job, and you get hard, and they were doing lines of coke off my cock. So that's
So like in that moment when you're like looking down at them, like what's going through your head? Like, are you thinking like this is fucking cool, or is it awkward, or
yes and no. It's energy. Like you guys feel great, but there's times where you go in where the energy's not good.
We're not lines off of coke energy.
No, but you good.
Sorry.
There's good and bad energy.
Yeah.
Or there's working and non-working, depending on how you look at life. We won't get into that. But there's good and bad energy, and it's all about the energy. So it's never awkward for me because how long I've been in the game. If you want to be a guy and you want some balls in your face, I'll fucking put my balls in your head. I don't give a shit. I'll give you Arabian goggles. You guys know what that is?
no?
So you know what a tea bag is.
Yeah.
So a tea bag is when you just put a tea bag on someone's forehead.
Yeah.
The Arabian goggles is when you put a testicle in each of the eye sockets and you run the schlong down the nose.
That's the best thing.
So
I've
those
ever
are called
heard,
the
bro.
Arabian goggles.
Next time one of my friends passes out, dude, they're fucked.
They're getting the Arabian goggles.
They're getting the Arabian goggles.
But that's like a typical thing for me. I talk about my book. There's one party I did that was like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning at the Venetian. There's a bunch of hot girls for like a birthday or bachelorette party, and they wheeled me in. They ordered breakfast, the whole big breakfast thing. And they put, they wheeled me on a breakfast tray. And I actually have a picture of this that's going to be in my book that supports the story. They ate pancakes off my abs and put whipped cream on my nipples. And then they flipped me over and they did lines of cocaine off my ass. And then in the middle of it, that's when I had the idea, like, well, you girls want to do some lines of cocaine off my cock? Yeah!
At 10 a.m. just not.
Oh yeah, man!
Oh, dude, talk about a brunch, bro.
I remember one of, because it only sticks out to me. Again, this story's in my book. Another party I've done was on Mother's Day. I did a Mother's Day party like at 10 o'clock in the morning for a bunch of like hot housewives from like the OC Malibu area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was so their theme. They had a really nice suite at Mandalay Bay, and they had a big whiskey and donuts. So I walked into a room with a bunch of hot MILFs, whiskeys, and donuts everywhere. And we were doing Hermosa shots, having whiskey, having donuts. And it was just nothing too crazy as far as my end goes happened. But it was a great party. Fucking most people on Mother's Day are having whiskey and donuts and Hermosa shots and strippers in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay.
I want to touch on this before we get too far along because I think this is funny. The husband and wife doing coke off your dick, was it kind of like a Lady and the Tramp romantic thing where they met in the middle? Kind of like one starts on one end, the other, and then they come in for a kiss. And
you know what the fuck? You just gave me a great idea.
Yeah, dude.
Tyler, next time I have people do cocaine off my dick and it's a couple, I'm going to put an extra long line on my cock and I'm going to have them meet in the middle.
Yeah, do it, dude.
I have not done that yet.
That'd be a sweet moment.
You could turn
I
on
swear on everything. I have something I'm going to do, and I swear I'm going to text. I'm going to text you when they do it. I'm going to make a face and go, I'm pulling the timer.
Turn on some Sarah McLachlan or something like.
No,
okay, not like that one. Not like that one.
Okay, well, that's the only Sarah McLachlan
some like romantic, like French music, like Lady and the Tramp, dude. The noodle, but it's a line.
The romantic was it? You guys. I don't know why this popped in my head. You guys ever remember Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.
That's a phenomenal soundtrack. I can't picture any other way that would be done, to be honest with you.
And that was I'll never forget, what's his name was the one that banged his teacher. I thought that guy was so cool. I was like, man, he's banging his teacher, dude. I had a couple teachers I wanted to bang. And never was able to.
Dude, yeah. I think everybody did.
So I feel like, though, there's a different scale for teachers. Like, outside of school, this woman would be like a 6.
But inside
school.
But
a teacher, she's a teacher 9. You know, like I feel like the fact that they're just a teacher makes them so much hotter.
Yeah, I remember. I just remember one time, and it was like 7th grade. We had a teacher. I don't think she ever liked to wear a bra. And I remember, sometimes they have to write you hall passes, and she had been over to write me a hall pass, and I saw the top of the mountain. I remember I jerked off her titty for like a month.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just a staple of your childhood.
Yeah, dude. Yes, 100%.
Just thinking to that one moment where you just got that little glimpse.
I just wanted to suck them. Dude, I have a glimpse of her getting excited one day because we hit our mark on like a fundraiser, like things that stick with your childhood, of her jumping up and down going, we did it, and her just big old titties just going, boom.
You're like, girl, I would buy 100 pizzas from you tomorrow if I meant you to do that again.
When I used to get boners in school, because you get them all the time, I remember putting textbooks on my pants, and you could lift a book up and down. And I never forget, my teacher caught me doing it. Goes,
workouts.
What are you doing? She goes, what are you doing? I was like, oh, shit. Nothing. Nothing, that was my trick,
That's my trick. You were always going to be an entertainer. You were bred for this line of work.
I'm a natural born entertainer.
You were bred for this line of work.
Yeah, man, it's been great. Yes, I am. I guess I am.
Yeah,
I just fell into what like I said, you just went with the flow. But we talk about energies and stuff. There's also, a very dark side to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not always fun. And I've been in some fucking horrible situations where you got to think on your feet.
Okay.
So
there we go.
Have you ever been robbed on a gig?
Like mugged?
No, but I've been punched.
Okay.
And I've been attacked.
Really?
Yes. There was one party I did years ago. It was a mixed crowd party, which means mixed crowd in our business means straight guys and girls. Mm-hmm. That's what a mixed crowd is. So you could have boyfriends, husbands. It's a mixed crowd. Yep. And they had hired me for like a 50th birthday. Like it was a really nice house in Vegas. Tons of people there. I was dancing on like the back porch area. And I remember dancing, and then I was dancing for the girl of honor, and then all of a sudden, the people, energy starts popping, You guys see my energy, I come and explode.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's like, especially when you're fucking partying, and you're going, and you're dancing, you're working, and then they'll start just throwing girls in the chair for you. And so, like, girls are just getting thrown in the chair, and I'm just working at this point. And I remember just dancing. All of a sudden, I felt the fucking pressure on my jaw. And the guy didn't hit me just right. Because if you hit someone just right, you're in spaghetti. I don't
done.
care how fucking big you are. There's a button. Everyone has a button. If you hit it, you spaghetti. I call it spaghetti because you turn into a noodle. And you just
Wet noodle.
Yep.
boom. But he didn't hit my button. I remember just feeling pressure. And before I could do anything, the other husbands in the group and boyfriends grabbed him. And they held him down. They tipped me extra. They apologized to me profusely. And they walked me to my car and everything else. As being robbed, I've never been robbed, but I'm always strapped. Yeah. So anybody who's thinking about robbing me, stay strapped or get clapped, boys.
Yeah, good
Heard
luck.
that.
You want to rob me? See what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
You're a
live
big
in Las
fan
Vegas.
of the Second Amendment.
Big fan of the Second Amendment. I have a ton of guns. I carry every day. My everyday carry is a Glock 43X.
Dude, I think that's a go-to. Everybody I know that carries is a Glock 43X.
Dude, I've gone into like bachelorette parties with it in and forgot it's there.
Yeah,
I put it in my bag.
comfortable.
It's
I heard it's a very good carry gun.
Obviously, I have my CCW. I have all that stuff. I legally carry. I have taken classes. Disclaimer. But yeah, that's my everyday. And like, it's one thing I love about Vegas. That's a Wild West state. You can. It's one of the reasons
like that. I need to go.
Like that.
You do.
I've been to Laughlin.
Which is great. That's like a miniature Vegas.
So-
and plus you have water there.
Yeah, you can tell by my vibe, like with the Dale Earnhardt shirt. I fucking loved Laughlin because it's so old. I love how that whole city is stuck in the 90s because it's been built and it's never been renovated ever.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of shitty. You can still smell a Marlboro 100 that was smoked in 1998, and that is the best. Like,
Well,
I
hope-
could smell the smelling salts all day and never smell something as good as a Marlboro from 1998.
Just that stale cigarette
Oh,
smell.
dude.
Well, I hope you guys from On Tap can make a trip out to Vegas and let me know ahead of time so I can set
yeah.
some stuff up for you guys.
That would be sick.
Oh
That
my
would
God,
be
dude.
You have to
incredible.
understand, which is beside me being an adult entertainer, I've lived there for 16 years. I live on the Strip.
You know what to show us. That's
Yes.
not the
I
fucking
live-
blue guys.
Without giving too much away, I literally live a couple miles down from Mandalay Bay. I live on Las Vegas Boulevard. So, please give me a heads up before you guys come out.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'd love that.
Hell yeah. I mean, like I said, it's my favorite city, I think, in the United States.
Yeah, I've never been there either. Like Tyler.
We gotta go this winter when I'm laid off. We gotta go. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
you can break our Vegas virginity.
By winter, if you guys come around January or February, my personal schedule, Vegas slows down in those months, is a lot more relaxed. I'll have time to be able to kick it. We can
Is it
do
still
shit.
is it still like a good time to go though? Is it still fun?
No, if you like to go to pools. Because the pools are going to be closed.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's it.
I get it.
There's no pools. The clubs are open.
Right.
It's shit fun. Like I remember it gets, believe it or not, we get busy on Christmas Eve. I rock
Really?
out parties on Christmas Eve a lot. A lot of foreigners.
Really?
A lot of foreigners come in.
Oh, yeah,
That don't
I
really
suppose.
celebrate the traditional Christmas. And they get strippers.
And they're there.
I've made some money on Christmas Eve, buddy.
Traditional Christmas. Man.
Hell
Have you
yeah.
ever dressed up as baby Jesus and got wheeled in like a three wise men bring you in?
Never done Jesus. Mm-hmm. No pun intended. never dressed up as Jesus.
Have you ever done Jesus?
Never done Jesus.
Okay.
Same spelling. But I've done Santa Claus. I've come in as an elf. I've done a clown. I've done Legolas from Lord of the Rings.
Cody loves clowns.
I hate them.
I do not like clowns.
I hate 'em.
I'm not like against clowns.
I've
but
danced out of you remember the big purple dinosaur Barney?
Yeah.
I have danced out of that outfit.
No shit.
Yeah.
so you
dude.
ripped the Barney off.
So kind of. That outfit is Disneyland huge. Like I would not be able to walk through your doorway there with it. It has a big zipper. It has a big zipper in the crotch area in the bottom. So I kind of had to pull that off. There was no ripping that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
work for the company I work for. Also branches out and has a huge entertainment side of it. So they have like a long list of costumes you can rent if you need to.
Oh, that's
How
sweet.
the hell
Barney.
does somebody book a party, a stripper
Well, here's a
and
weirder
say,
one
come
for
in
you.
a fucking Barney
First,
costume?
right. Here's a weirder one for
Yeah.
you. I remember I did one in a big hot dog. For they wanted a big wiener.
Yeah.
I would like to say with open heart.
If
you guys
I thought
don't-
you meant another different kind of big wiener.
No, like a big hot dog.
Yeah.
Literally. So I like you guys don't mind. Like to take a drink for little Stephanie.
Yep.
This
Little
one's for little Stephanie.
Little
Shout out
Stephanie.
Little Stephanie.
That's how she went by. I love you, girl, wherever you are. She passed away. She's one of my favorite fucking people to work for. I may get a little emotional here.
R.I.P.
She was a great person. She was in Vegas we call these little people performers, specialty acts. They're booked for a lot more. I did a lot of parties with her. So you talk about weird and strange. Weird and strange with me was I did a party with little Stephanie, she was great. Holy fuck, little Stephanie was great. I wish I could have done one more with her. But I did a party with her at the MGM Grand once where they hired me, little Stephanie, Sweet Cheeks. You guys don't know who Sweet Cheeks is.
I've heard that a lot.
Sweet Cheeks is a big, like, 400-pound girl.
Okay.
That'll come in with big old titties and a big drinking a 2-liter Diet Coke, and she'll come in and crush you with her titties. It's Sweet Cheeks. And they had the Michael Jackson impersonator, which just looked like Michael Jackson and a big me. They wanted me to strip out of a fucking hot dog outfit.
So this is wild. Like, this is quite the array.
I don't even know why I was there. So the whole spread, you got hot dog, you got Michael Jackson, you got little Stephanie, and you got Sweet Cheeks. And the funniest thing about little Stephanie is the girls on this show have a thing called, they do a show called The Fuck Face. So basically, it's a dildo that has like a headband thing around it. So you can literally wear the dildo around your head.
Yeah.
And they'll have the guy lay down on the ground, and you know, your normal strippers will sit there and the females will do the thing called the fuck face. They'll lay the Bachelor on the ground, they'll fuck the dildo while it's strapped to his head. Little Stephanie, because she was a little person dancer, had a smaller version of that. But I remember her running, and she would hop on it. Like, you know, you got a little person hopping on your head and would start fucking on this dildo. Little Stephanie was fucking great, bro.
Oh, my God.
I'm not making fun of anybody. Listen, if anybody knew who this girl was, she absolutely loved her job as an entertainer. She loved what she did. This is not any kind of insult to her.
Oh,
we loved her, and I miss her tremendously. When I heard her passing, I was extremely sad. And she was really cool. So, again, rest in peace to little Stephanie. But, yeah, when you guys talk about strange, when you guys talk about strange, that sticks out to me as strange. Doing coke off my cock isn't strange. Me fucking some guy's wife at this point isn't strange, unless the energy's wrong. I have a story in my book. You know, there's a very dark place in Vegas, especially for people who have money. I've gotten really good at not seeing the person. I feel their energy. And, again, like I was telling you, 90-something% of the time, if not 100%, I always meet the husband or a boyfriend at the bar first.
Yep.
And why do you do that?
To feel them out. I want to know why you have me here.
Yep.
So obviously you have me here to do some shit with you guys. Most of the time it's swingers. A lot of times you'll get guys that are like, fuck, we had the girls last night. Tonight's our wife's turn. Here's your money, stud. Go up there and give them the cum shot. You know, I've had swingers say that to me. Very healthy.
Have you walked away? Like, have you met the husband and been like, I don't like this. I'm out of here.
No, because I always take the money. But I've met the person and not performed as best as I could. I'm sorry if that sounds shitty.
Because the energy just wasn't there. You weren't feeling the mood.
So the weirdest one I've ever done, and I talk about my book, is the darkest one I've ever done, is this was a super rich guy. Met him at Caesar's Palace, and it was a typical, meet him downstairs at the bar. He wants me to come perform for his wife. And then usually, like again, 99% of the time, you get up there, the wife may be a little shy, but that's part of it. It's like, you know, the reality of a sex crazed night sometimes is a lot different than the fantasy. Mm-hmm. So I get up to the room. I can already tell the wife's super shy. Whenever that happens, you know, we'll have a drink like we're doing now. I'll even put on my radio and just do a normal strip show. I even think I remember I had to put on my cop outfit and did just a strip show for her. So I'm down to my like Calvin Klein underwear, which I always dance down to usually, and I'll never forget, and I'm doing the voice as good as I can. Pull his dick out. I'll look over, the husband's like demanding, pull his dick out now. And I'm like dancing. I'm looking down. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I'm dancing. I'm like, okay. And she pulls it out. He goes, yeah, start stroking that dick. And then she's, you know, this is, you know, I got this, my dick is in this girl's hand, and I don't know if she wants it there or not. So I'm sitting there dancing.
You can't tell the vibe. You can't tell the vibe.
I'm with clients at this point. I'm being paid. So I'm dancing, and I'm feeling the energy from her. She's not really into it. And this is the dark side of Vegas you get sometimes. People with money feel like they can do anything they want.
Yeah.
And so like, then she goes, then this line will forever remain in my head. If you want me to have your kid, if you want me to give you a baby and you want my money, you better start sucking his dick now. You suck it clean. And I was like,
Jesus.
Whew. Bro, any kind of excitement. I never met these people.
Yeah, how do you say hard then?
I'm in a fucking hotel suite with two people I've never met. There's no cameras. There's no fun energy. Yeah. And my dick went right back in my pants. I looked at her. I said, honey, you ain't got to do anything you don't want to do. I finished my drink politely, and I excused myself out of the fucking party. But, like, again, you know, when you talk about, you know, turning things down, I wish I would have listened to my gut at the bar downstairs and turned that one down. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's
Because
scary
you
shit.
can tell you're like, something's a little off.
Yes,
Yeah.
because most of the time, another couple I fuck. There's total different reasons. Like you always get these guys who are like, I could never let a man fuck my wife. I get that.
I'll be that way.
I get that, but you never know where people are coming from. I had a couple that called me a couple times. The husband, they were very much in love, very much, and weren't really into swinging. But the man had some medical issues, had some surgeries. He could not perform for the life of him, but he wanted his wife satisfied. And I remember I met them at their house. They sat down and talked to me about their situation, and he just really wanted his wife to get fucked and feel good and feel like a woman, and he couldn't do it. And they haven't called me in a couple of years, so I'm assuming he got his mojo back, which, cheers to that. But you never know where people are coming from.
Yeah, different reasons.
Different
You
strokes.
always got to keep your wife happy.
Different strokes for different folks.
Hell yeah.
Is that where that comes from?
Maybe.
Different strokes for different folks?
Maybe, but I didn't want to get dark there with you for a minute. But I just want you to know that I am a happy fun guy.
for
But
sure.
there's a part of Vegas. You guys
we
brought
like
the
knowing
tunnels.
that.
You
We
guys
like
brought the
knowing that.
tunnels. That's a very shitty.
Yeah.
If you guys ever come to Vegas, I'll show you the people I'm talking about. They hang out where we fucking do pictures and stuff. It's sad, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking. You live in a fucking tunnel, and like you said, when it rains, it floods.
Yeah.
There's a lot more homeless people on the strip after it rains.
That's crazy. And I mean, you talk about the dark side of Vegas here too. I mean, do you have any other stories about guys just like, or gals that are just like you said, they got too much money, think that they can do whatever they want, get this like God complex.
Yeah,
about them.
so I've been in the parties too, and again, I get not a complex too, but I'm not. I've had some things happen to me later on in my career where I don't need your fucking money. I do, but I don't.
Right.
If I don't do your party, it's not like I can't pay my lighting bill.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Just leave it at that. But I've been at parties where people demand you do stuff. I need you like you feel the energy in the room. Sometimes I hire you for an hour, right? Sometimes that hour party will last 45 minutes.
Yep.
Sometimes that party will last an hour and a half. Okay. But when the energy dies, it dies. And I always hate it when the energy dies out and you get that one bitch. It's like, we hired you for the full hour. We just want you to dance right there for 15 minutes. No.
Yeah, that's how you get the entertainer to keep going.
Yeah, you yell at it. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, dude,
No
I've had like again, uncomfortable situations for me are people who should know their girlfriend well. Because obviously, if say if I'm getting you a stripper, we probably grew up together or something, or they get you a stripper, they know you, Tyler. They know what Tyler is. But there's people out there that don't want strippers, and that is okay. And I've been to those parties. That sucks. One of the funniest, bittersweet ones I did was for this Mormon family. And the people that hired me weren't Mormon.
Okay.
And I showed up and did like 2 seconds.
Oh, Lord.
The whole I was at their house. They all went outside by the pool and would not come back in their own house until I left.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
boy, read the room.
Yeah, they all left. And I told their 2 friends that weren't Mormon, like, you guys should have thought this thing through. Another scary experience I've had was these girls are having a girls' night, and fucking these big biker fucking tattooed guys kick the door in, like, what's going on? What's going on here? And I remember my heart dropped, dude.
You're like, oh my God.
I remember I looked straight at the leader guy. I just call him the leader guy because he was the one doing all the talking. I said, we're hired entertainment. They paid us. Are we cool? He looked me up and down and goes, yeah, we cool. Let's get the fuck out of here. And I was like, all right, cool. So there's been very uncomfortable.
Don't have to ask me twice.
Shit.
Yeah. So
it's just business for you. Yeah, don't bring me into this shit.
I would not be here if I didn't get called. I'm literally being paid by the minute to fucking be here.
And that's what it comes down to. You don't have any malicious intent at all.
None.
It's like, hey, I am literally making money being here, and that is the bottom line.
I'm an entertainer.
That is it.
We've touched on. I'm a fucking entertainer. That's what I come to do. This is let me be in my element with you. But again, like people from the outside, sometimes they don't know. They don't know I could have been some guy in there. Whatever. I'm not be overprotective. Be what you will. But it's you're stepping in these people's lives. So like most of the time, 90% of the time in a hotel suite. So I don't care. I just get sometimes a little. Parties that concern me the most, I'll do young people parties. When I mean young people about 18 to 22, because technically they're adults.
Yep.
And I hate that because jealousy in younger guys is
Huge.
And kids don't think, they just act. And I hate, and you don't get tipped either. Fucking broke college kids, get the fuck out of here.
Welcome.
Give me like 30 or 40-year-olds. That's what I want. 50-year-olds. I don't want people with that money.
Right.
But yeah,
right.
a lot of times I've turned down parties if I see the age groups young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You talk about knowing the person knows it, throwing the party for that person. Well, like me, I grew up with Cody. I've known him my whole life. I threw his bachelor party. I knew this guy wouldn't want a stripper. I got him a clown.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you knew deep down, even the stripper wouldn't probably go over well.
Yeah. No, I knew. I'm like, Cody, he's not even into girls that much. So I'm like, I'll just get a clown, dude. I had a guy rolling on a unicycle, dude. He did balloon animals for us.
That's true. Is that a true thing?
This is a true
That's
thing.
true. It's on our TikTok.
It was
He
a
fucking
very
hated it.
very homosexual clown.
Yeah.
And he was like
okay.
telling me the whole
Over the
time
top.
he's juggling, and
But-
he's like, he's.
You want me
talking
to
about,
blow on anything else? Yeah.
You got a homosexual clown in
I
Minnesota?
did, bro. Bro, so here's the deal. So like, I know my guy, and I know we love cringe comedy. Okay, and Cody might not have enjoyed it, but hey, the bachelor party's not for him. I don't give a fuck. So I told this guy,
In a way, it's not.
yeah, I told this
Yeah,
guy
right,
make it
yeah.
as cringy as possible, and he's like, I'm gonna make him so fucking uncomfortable. And this guy went so over the top, and I'm so grateful that I did it. He hated it, but
It was over the top. It was like it made me extremely uncomfortable.
That's the way
And I
that's good.
realized-
He did his job then.
I
He did do his job.
I had a blast.
I realized that I am a lot less comfortable with that atmosphere than I thought I would be.
You think you're really
Like, I
progressive
realized.
until that happened.
And I always put myself in like, like and during my shows, whenever I'm stripping, I ask several times, are you doing okay? Everything okay? Sometimes I even give them a code word because I let girls know there's going to be touching. Like I said, we do moves where I flip the girls upside down. We fucking do all kinds of shit. There's a set of moves. Don't try at home. I'm a trained professional, but there's a set of moves that we do. And it's like there's going to be touching, but like anytime you're uncomfortable, you need to let me know. But, 99% of the time, it's great.
Yeah.
Great. People come to Vegas to have a good time. You get to see the best sides of people. Even if they're having the worst 9-to-5 job back home, they're in Vegas now. They saved up 6 months for this job.
Yes.
So you get to see the best party sides of people. Another thing I specialize, like you were saying, is pranks.
Yeah.
I get a lot of times where they'll blindfold the guy. They tell them they're getting a female stripper, and then they open the blindfold up, and it's me shaking in the face. And I go, you're gay now. And we make a joke about it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's funny. So in order to do a lot of these stunts and a lot of like flipping people around, I mean, depending on how big these people are, like that's a lot. That takes a lot of muscle. Do you have like a particular workout routine that you maintain
every day?
Or like do you follow a diet of some sort to keep your body in good physical condition?
Kind of, sort of, yes. I think I've just been blessed. A lot of people accuse me of being on cocaine and stuff a lot because I just very high energy. I do a little bit of caffeine. I'm
You
off the wall.
vibe, dog. You vibe.
Exactly right. So like, I've hurt myself. I've had some back problems. I have a big scar on my stomach. I've had to have I've ripped my abdominal wall from picking up people that are too big for me.
Dang.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, every workforce, every job there's gonna be some injuries, and I don't think you're not immune to that.
No, so like I used to work at a paper goods company called Bunzel, warehouse work, where literally you drove a pallet jack and you fucking lifted your ass off boxes all day, jacking up pallets, saran wrapping them, loading them on the semis. That's what I did before stripping. What only changed was obviously the money and mentality and, your attitude. But I'm literally, I have, say 10 parties a week. Each one of these parties, let's say average, has 10 girls. What is that, 100 girls?
Yep.
I'm going to pick up those girls every time at least once. So I'm picking up a girl 100 times, flipping them around, moving them around. And I've learned how to lift with my legs and use momentum. Momentum. And so like girls, I can pick up almost any. I can pick you up just right.
No shit.
If you came up to me and I told you how to do it, I'd say walk towards me, jump, and I would lift you with my legs and I'd lock you in with my legs. There's a way to do it. But before I was able to, it's momentum.
We want to see this? I kind of
momentum.
want to see
I
this.
we could do a thing here. Where
I don't want to rip your abdominal wall, though.
No, you won't. It's just it's how you would jump, and it's how I would lock you in. So like you have the illusion of lifting them up.
Yeah.
If the girls are bigger or whatever, the only ones that throw me off, and I'm not body shaming or nothing,
Yep.
but if they're really short and fat, I have a hard time doing that. There's no leg room. I gotta have momentum for you to jump, and I gotta be able to get your legs, because then there's a way to lock it in. But before I did that, like I said, I ripped my abdominal wall completely open. I've had to have I've had to have my stomach cut open and sewn back together.
So my question is, did that end the party? I mean,
No, so I danced with that.
Oh my god! I was gonna say,
I had my stomach was popping out for like a couple of years, and I just went to the doctor and said, "What's this going on here?" And he said, The older you get, the worse it's going to get. So let's go ahead and snip you up. I was about 29, 30. And I was like, all right, let's fucking do it.
I thought it was going to be a thing like middle of a party and like this girl's just vibing like high energy and then she just jumps on you and just destroys the stripper. And
So no,
like,
I don't.
Good fucking
so,
going.
Funny story about that. So like I used to have, I don't even talk about this in my book. This is exclusive to OnTap.
Exclusive
To OnTap. So I'm doing this normal party. And I used to have my nipple pierced back in the day. And you know girls that wear these like sexy little fishnet outfits? Yep. So I'm doing this fucking party, and when I do these parties, I bring like a fucking stereo system, surround sound, blaring. So I'm doing the party. So I do a move where you take the girl and you flip her upside down to where her legs are up here and her head's in your groin area. But when you flip them up, her fishnet outfit twisted into my nipple ring. Ow. So when I'm in the middle of dancing, I'm doing the thing, and then I go to set her down, and I feel the nipple rip. And I pulled her back in quick. And because of just the way humans are, I'm holding her tight, and it's not a joke. And she gets freaked out, thinking I'm squeezing her, so she tries harder to get away. It's just normal. But at this point, this is survival. So I'm holding this girl as tight as I can, and I walk over to my stereo, and I'm trying to turn it down. I have these boots I wear when I dance, so I'm turning down the knob with my boot. I said, you got to stop. My nipple ring is fucking caught. And she heard me, and I had to lay down with her, and I got her on the ground, and I undid it, and I thank God it only tore my nipple just a little bit.
Oh my God.
It wasn't much. And I took that nipple ring right out, and I threw it right in the trash can, and I'm never having one of these.
That's done.
That's it. That's it. I never looked back since. So yeah, I don't think I've ever told that. I've never told that on a podcast. But yeah, that was 100% true. I remember that. I just remember so scared because the music was so loud that she was gonna just like really want to come to get off of me, and just I was so scared I was gonna rip that fucking nipple clean off, man. Oh,
Oof, or right through. Just
yeah, that's
right
what I
through.
did. There's no good way that ends with your nipple ripping. No way.
You're a money shot of blood, dude, out of your nipple, dog.
I had a bachelorette party too. Like, so luckily that happened in the days before like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook were big. This was a few years. Well, I mean, Facebook was always been a thing.
Yeah.
But nowadays, if that were to happen, that'd be viral. Stripper rips nipple off. You know.
Oh my God.
I worked my whole life, 16 years, and now I'm the stripper that got his nipple ripped off.
Right. Right. God damn.
Oh, dude, that hurts so much just thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, Mason, we appreciate you for coming on the pod.
Yeah, for sure.
Where can everyone find you on social media?
I haven't came yet.
You've been saving that one, I know.
So the bachelorette parties, I always think, well, we thank you for coming and doing our show. And I'm like, well, I haven't come yet, ladies.
What do they say?
The same thing.
That's funny. Where can everyone find you on social media? What is your tags?
So, man, it's Masin Knox. Again, you spell my name, MASINKNOX. My book will be out on Halloween. Pre-orders will start towards the end of September. You go to masonknox.com. That's MASINKNOX.com. It has all my social. You can actually book me there as a stripper. You can buy my book there and all that stuff. And for those of you who like the show, I'll be going back on the Soft White Underbelly. So I'll have another interview back on there. And maybe if all things go well, I can come back on Tap with the boys, man.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How about we just make the pod mobile? We have a whole mobile setup. We'll just bring it right to you. We'll come to Vegas.
You guys should do a remote broadcast in Vegas.
I think that's what we should do.
I would be so into that because if we go to Vegas, we got to create content and we might as well hit you up.
Well, and we know if we're with Mason, we're going to have a fucking time.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you guys let me know ahead of time, too, and kind of let me know what you guys want to do, I can set some shit up for you.
Okay.
100%. But again, just masonknox.com, man. The book will be out at the end of the month, man.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. I appreciate
Cheers,
the fucking
dude.
show, man. Cheers to you and your
was a
listeners.
blast.
Yeah, I had a great time, man. You guys are fucking easy and fun to talk to.
Hell yeah.